The tail of the tape at featherweight, the Mobile Mauler, Darragh Kelly hopes to add to that one submission win after a flat performance last time. He faces Dorval Jordan, who'll want this on the feet and will need to keep Kelly at bay. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Welcome to all those joining us live throughout Ireland tonight on Virgin Media as we get set here at Bellator 291 to go 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing first out of the blue corner at 5'11", weighing in 145.2 pounds. His professional record 2-2. He fights out of Paris, France, Dorval Jordan. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner at 6 foot, weighing in 145.2 pounds. Undefeated as a professional, 2 victories, no defeats by way of Mobile. He fights out of Dublin, Ireland, introducing Darragh, the Mobile Mauler Kelly. And your referee, Keith Peterson.
There's a great noise for Darragh Kelly here, the Mobile Mauler down at 145. I must say, he looked big at 155. It's going to be a big challenge, this, for Dorval Jordan. Kick there from Kelly.
Lost his balance straight after, though. Jordan's arms are extremely long. Just the 1-2 that he threw, although he didn't land it, it was I didn't expect that reach. Great.
Kelly has been raring to go here, and he's looking for everything already.
Looking for that triangle. His hand just caught on the inside. He needs that right hand further inside, but he can probably still get that submission. Jordan's got to be careful. He's got to look up.
Still looking for it, isn't he?
He's caught him under the leg. He's not going to go anywhere right too quick, so he might get the submission right. It might be off early finish.
He's looking for an early explosive finish here. Again, Kelly has it tight.
I think that hand is still in. The right hand is still just in the way. It's preventing him from. He needs to start landing punches here. You land punches here, you can get him to have to cover up and move it and maneuver his hands a little bit more.
He still thinks it's on, all right.
He still thinks it's on. He may be right.
Trying to look tighter and tighter. Keith Peterson's looking as well. What can Jordan do here? That's what he needs to do.
Yeah, there you go. He's out.
Did really well to hang on there, Jordan.
Definitely.
Kelly just couldn't quite get that arm out, could he?
I think he needed to land a few more strikes in that position, especially when somebody's has that one arm in. Should have handed a little bit more shots, there.
Kelly felt against Kai Stevens last time he rushed things. Ironic that having put that right, he almost gets a very early submission. Not that he was rushing.
Just keep that wrist. Yes.
Pent-up energy and frustration.
Again, beautiful setup for that triangle again, but in a very awkward position up against the cage. It's going to be very difficult for him to kind of get. He needs to maneuver away from the cage. He needs to maneuver away from the cage, and as you can see, the ref telling him to, not utilize his toes in the cage. But still got a great triangle on.
This is what Jordan needs to do again, just to try and get himself out of the position.
Triangle this time. It's a lot tighter. If he gets his hand under the legs, he can keep him a bit more stable. If he's lost it, good work by Jordan.
But Jordan just staggered back there, and he gets himself straight back into trouble, Jordan.
Again, I don't know if it's the confidence of being able to, you've escaped 2. Maybe I'm okay there, but again, you're going to get a bit more tired. Kelly is cut, though.
Yeah, there's blood above that right eye of Kelly.
And Jordan's past the leg this time, so there's no triangle on anymore.
Jordan in a much better position this time. Jordan again has seen that cut, and he's trying to land above that right eye.
Might get a sweep here. Look, he's got the lockdown. Might get an electric chair, sweep. And sweep him from one side. and potentially even be able to take back. If he gets his head clear, he can even take back. Look, try look, there you go. He's taking his head. Oh, he's going to sweep him back the opposite way. He's definitely going to get on top here.
Well, that's brilliantly done, and the crowd who know their stuff appreciate that.
Great work. Kelly's now trapped the arm as well, so shots from the left hand is going to come in a minute. Once he clears that left hand, he's also got a great bite of Jordan's leg. He's in a very bad position at the moment, Jordan. And that goes back to the decision of him going back into his guard.
That's all come from that.
That's all come from that.
Jordan is being helped a bit by the cage, but yeah, the referee says enough of that.
I think Kelly's trying to get a little bit of a better bite of his wrist and then cause a bit more problems and cause a bit more damage. Jordan's making it awkward with those long arms. I think he can actually go and take his back from here. I don't know why he's wasting time. He should put his hand over his shoulder and take his back. He's past the side now.
30 seconds or so left in this opening round. Kelly's been in a couple of great positions.
I think he needs to finish it with a little bit more work, finish a little bit stronger, just to kind of try and shore up the round. There you go. Those big elbows. I feel like people are listening to me.
They're wired up, Michael. Closing seconds, but there's that
great shot.
Really powerful hammer fist there from Darragh Kelly. Massively dominant, but didn't quite get that submission.
But yeah, it will cause complications. But I think where he's going for triangles a lot, the blood's going to run away from his eyes. You know, because he's going to be like tilting back, trying to go for the triangles and stuff.
Yeah, laws of gravity there come into play. Round two then. Darragh Kelly close to getting Jordan out of there in round one, but has to start all over again, and that's what John Cavender asked him to go for. That double leg straight away.
Again, great controls. He should take back here. Kelly, Jordan's still got the whizzer in, so there you go. He's managed to, now he can start pummeling and, you know, try and separate. Kelly might want to try and drop down on a single leg again. Yeah, hip throw. He's trying to get the hip throw. He's trying to get his knee in between Jordan's legs to get a hip throw, but he's defended very well. He's got the underhook here. I think that knee was silly.
Well, you see Chris Cyborg talking about Yaroslav Amosov. Everyone's talking about him. He's a fighter who inspires other fighters, and of course he's coming up later on. What a fight that's going to be.
Again, Kelly here with that hip control. We've seen it a few times tonight. That right arm on the hip, preventing Jordan from actually getting back to his feet. And then he can shuck him away from the cage and start working on his submission game and landing strikes. And look at that wrist control. Beautiful wrist control.
Yeah, that was the controlling position from Magomed Sharipov, wasn't it?
Exactly.
But it was only when he moved that he
actually landed,
created the separation and found the finish. Completely dominant performance so far from Kelly, but
great
he will want to get him out of there.
Again, he's got that control. I think he needs to clear the elbow. There you go, and then start landing some shots. You can't wait around. These positions don't last forever. You have to be active when you're in those positions. He's got that wrist trap.
Encouraging Jordan from that corner, telling him how to try and get out of that.
Again, we've spoken about being explosive. These are the kind of positions you want to be explosive from. But he's good. Look, he's got the mount. Not quite, kind of a quarter mount.
And now he can let those shots go. Jordan defending desperately here.
I think he could have taken a little bit more time and actually confirmed the mount first, and then try to start teeing off.
It's interesting, having said that he rushed last time against Stevens, at times here, he's rushed here as well. Yeah. He said he was going to patch up the holes of that performance. It's not that easy.
Not at all. Especially when you're in the moment. It's always difficult to, correct yourself in the moment. You just tend to just respond. That's what your coaches are there for, to try and, you know, course correct you. Good backwards roll by Jordan to get into a slightly better position, just to allow him to try and stand back up. But oh, look at this. The foot right across now, the hip. He's not going anywhere. He's going to lock that in. Got his back now.
That is terrific positioning.
Beautiful
from Kelly. And he's weighing down on Jordan here as well. Even at 145, he's a heavy man.
It's like having an angry rucksack on your back. It's going to be difficult to get off, especially with that body triangle. He's going to want to try and flatten him out a little bit though, because he's still turtling up. It's going to be awkward, but he needs to try and land some more shots to do so. Lift his head, make it a bit ugly, lift his chin.
That's exactly what he's doing here, and Jordan knows it. Final minute of the round. Jordan's in desperate trouble. Kelly looking to stretch him out here. Still got that body triangle.
Just keep, there you go. He wants to try and get underneath that chin, so keep landing those punches and he will make a mistake. You will be able to stretch him out.
Two massive elbows there. Brutal elbows from Kelly.
Oh, massive elbows.
Time might be against the Irishman here, but can he open Jordan up? Goodness me, Jordan is tough.
Definitely. To still be in that position and defending. But he might have made a mistake here.
Has he just exposed his neck? 15 seconds remaining in round two. Referee's trying to get a look at this.
Yeah, there's no choke on quite yet.
Another massive elbow. Closing seconds of the second round.
You don't want to lose it all now because you're ahead of the game.
Yeah, cage management. They've already had one young fighter not necessarily displaying great cage management in a Juge. They don't want to see the same from Kelly.
Oh,
Kelly was
slipped there.
I think it was a slip, yeah. We were at an angle where that looked really dramatic, didn't it, for a second.
Oh yeah, no, he just slipped on that teep. But it puts him in an annoying position. Definitely wanted to start on top. But, you know, as he's so comfortable with his jits, he's not going to mind it too much. Got the underhooks here. Trying to go for that electric chair again under the leg. There you go. Going to sweep him. Looking for that sweep.
This is clever stuff, isn't it, from Kelly?
Beautiful work. Now he's got the sweep. Yeah, it's done. Amazing. And he's past one leg. He's going to push the side. Going to push that head, yeah, that leg down. Oh, look. Because Jordan's rolled over. He's got back again.
And now the difference is center of the cage and 4 minutes to go. So time for Kelly now. Again, what you described as that rucksack.
Oh, he's managed to flatten him out this time. Do a lot better. He's been a bit ugly, lifting his chin up, putting his hand in his face, trying to keep him flat. Now he needs to get his hand under the chin and it should be over.
Should find the finish from here, Darragh Kelly. Again.
But good work from Jordan, just not giving in.
Gotta not rush it. Wait for the moment. There will be a moment, won't there? You'd think anyway.
Keep softening him up, you'll find that moment, definitely. Look, he's in mount now in a better position that he wanted.
Yeah, Jordan's trying to protect himself here. And these are heavy shots from Kelly.
The referee's looking closely. He's looking like it could be over.
Closely now. One or two more and it is.
There you go.
He gets the stoppage that he wanted. And boy, did he have to work hard for it. But this time he didn't rush. This time he took his time. He waited for his moment, he did the right thing, and when the finish came, it was outstanding.
It was, it really was. See him looking up, listening to his corner to get him stretched out, and great finish, great finish.
He had a tough camp, got the weight off, went to Iceland, trained with Gunny Nelson over there, and did striking classes, tried to make himself more well-rounded, and we saw all of that excellent work. And this is it. This is how he set it up, how he finished it, Mike.
Again, he's trying to stretch him out. I think you even see him look over to his corner just to get that advice. Look, and then adjust his feet. So he's got both feet in between the legs. Oh, look at that. He's back into mount, the position that he wants to be in, and just, you know what, he decided to just go for that instead of go for a submission, and referee jumps in, rightly so. Jordan survived a hard run. Amazing coaching as well. Great coaching from the corner. Great advice. Good finish.
Let's get to Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end at 1 minute 58 seconds into round number 3. The winner by TKO, still undefeated Darragh, the Mobile Mola.